Hi you guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the Thornton Township board meeting that happened on August 20th. Now in my last video, we talked about the one that occurred on August 15th, which was a special board meeting where the trustees were trying to get a couple of different ordinances passed, and unfortunately they were not able to do that because of some of the verbiage inside the ordinance. There was not real clarity there, so they had to table it and they had to go back, talk to some department heads or whatever, but now they're back and they're going to be going over those ordinances again in this board meeting. So naturally we're going to start the meeting off with the security or police, I'm not sure, giving the audience a warning to stay civilized and be respectful, okay? Because we all know Tiffany is just the most upstanding citizen and she has nothing to offer but respect for people.
And must remain civilized. Fair enough? Fair enough. Any profanity, bad language, disrespectful, will not be tolerated.
So just remember, when you are in the presence of a dignified young lady such as Tiffany Henyard, please remain just as civilized as she does and give her the same amount of respect that she gives you. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get on with this meeting.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out this evening. There's a lot to discuss as it relates to Thornton Township. First and foremost, I just want to set some rules. Those that have not been here, at the last town hall meeting, it was really hostile. There was a lot of issues going on. So today we will not be allowing any of that to happen. So if anything gets out of order, I will cancel the meeting and everybody will be removed from the meeting. So all your outbursts, if you can keep that to yourself, you will have time to address this body. You have to sign in to speak. You will get 3 minutes to speak to this board. But I just want to make sure we're clear on the rules. Nobody can say, hey, you didn't give us rules. We have an ordinance that says you cannot disrupt a meeting. We are here to handle business and not allow the business to handle us. Also, back up a little bit. That's the reason why we have it in our actual board meeting, which is located upstairs. Every time we have a town hall meeting, we have a meeting upstairs, and the overflow is downstairs in the upper level. Unfortunately, the Board of Trustees didn't want to come upstairs because obviously people have plans to disrupt the meeting. We're not here for that. We're not here for the show. We're not here for the clickbait.
So you guys, that's one of her go-to phrases right now. You know, she's not here to be clickbait. And then another one, like she just mentioned, you know, they're here to handle the business, not let the business handle them. You know, she loves all those little go-to phrases. If you guys are familiar with more of her go-to phrases, go ahead and post them down in the comments for me. I don't have enough time to say all of them. We know there's a lot. But what I was saying is that what she's trying to explain is that they usually have the meeting up there in the little room, which actually kind of violates the Open Meetings Act because there's not enough room for all the residents to come and fit in that room. So what they do is they have the meeting from upstairs playing on the TV downstairs, but then the residents are not able to get their comments heard upstairs. So that's what she originally wanted to do, but the trustees, you know, they had kind of a standoff and Tiffany had to go ahead and bring her little behind downstairs. That's just a quick explanation of what she was talking about. Of course, it's everybody else's fault and people were gonna disrupt the meeting. That's why she wanted to hide upstairs instead of having it downstairs. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on with this meeting.
Next on the agenda is adoption of the 2024/2025 budget and appropriation ordinance 24-009 for Thornton Township. Is there a motion?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we table whole business.
All right, there's no such thing as superseding if there's no motion on the table. So if you just want to make a motion to table something, just make a motion to table the item. Okay. All right, she got to be clear on what she wants to do. So you want to table both budgets? Is there a reason why you guys are tabling the budget?
We're going to send you a revised copy of the budget that you want to.
So what the trustees are wanting to do is table it and then go over the budget and send Tiffany Henyard a revised budget, because Tiffany and her team just came up with this budget. Lord knows what's in it, okay? But I think the trustees had a look at it and they were like, no. We need to go over it a little bit, and then we'll get back to you on that. But Tiffany, of course, is not with that.
Okay, so for the record, guys, so you understand what's going on, we put together a budget. We put the budget on the table since April. That's when everybody came to the town hall meeting and everybody was into one another, and the Board of Trustees chose not to basically vote for a budget. So your township is running without an actual budget. They had plenty of time to actually go over a budget, present a budget, and make sure that we had something to look at, whether it's something they want to take out, amend, adjust, fix, and they have not done so. So I'm asking the Board of Trustees to not kick the can down the road any longer, and to make sure that you actually do your job and actually produce a budget for the township so we can move forward with our day-to-day operation.
There's a lot of things going on here that haven't happened before. And that's kind of to the heart of why we're passing it. We're, as Trustee Carlisle said, we're going to put some finishing touches on our budget that we're going to propose. Takes a little time. Unfortunately, this budget's a little bloated, so we're trying to get our cuts to where they need to be. We feel they need to be. So that will be coming soon.
So while I do agree that it's taking a long time for them to get this budget together, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the budget when it first came out and when Tiffany was trying to get it passed. For one, she canceled the budget meeting at the last minute in hopes that a lot of people wouldn't be able to show up.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out this evening. I am Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, the People Supervisor. I want to thank you for coming out to hear from the department heads, the finance department as relates to the budget. But unfortunately, we will have to postpone our meeting until Friday at 1 p.m.
Because when she scheduled it, it was on a day where most people would be at work. It was during the day, so that was a little shiesty. And so just like Trustee Chris Gonzalez says, the budget looks a little bloated, so they have to go over it and they have to trim it down, and they have to make sure that it's within reason. One thing Tiffany doesn't seem to understand when it comes to spending money is reason, but it's not her money, like I say, so I don't think she really cares. All right, let's move on.
All right, trustee, like I stated, you had ample time to actually come up with actual budget. So all this grandstanding, I'm just sick of it. I just want them to actually produce something and actually put it before us so we can actually talk as a board and amend as a board. But just saying things just because we had ample time to still change since April is not cool. So we start kicking the can down the road. When are we going to discuss this? What's the date? Y'all tabling it to when? How y'all don't know when y'all want to table? Why we at a meeting and we still don't know nothing? What do we got, guys? What do we have? What day do y'all want to table this agenda to with this budget? What's the dates? Because we're not going to do that. We did that since April. You haven't gave us anything, so what's the dates? Do y'all have a date of when y'all want to bring this back up? Board, no date. All right, do y'all have resolutions, no vision, nothing in relation to table? And it says that we constantly have to go through this and not have an actual budget. So that means that that's how y'all run y'all households, but we don't run our household that way.
Oh, good old Tiffany couldn't resist a good old insult, especially towards the residents. Like, how do you expect to gain favor talking like this to people? I don't understand. I just don't get it. But, you know, to her point where she's saying that she doesn't run her household like that, but they might run theirs without a budget. Well, let's go ahead and rewind the clock a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning of Tiffany's mayoral tenure in Dolton, where she was running things without a budget. Okay? Yeah, she was. You guys know I'm always going to bring the receipts. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip of her just running around willy-nilly using the money up before there was even a budget in place.
You guys want to not pay people after they've done the work? Is it a reason for why you removing the items, Trustee Belcher?
When you first asked for fireworks, you asked for $5,000, but you went over the $5,000 and spent an additional $3,000. Total bills right now for special events that you spent is $30,000 in 3 months. The spending for these events has become ridiculous. So I'm asking to remove those items until we can do something about your spending.
So she said it's coming out of the special event budget. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's based on 2022?
We're in budget now, so it will come out of that budget.
in the budget that we don't have yet?
Correct.
That's what I'm asking. Okay.
So as we can see, Tiffany Henyard spends money regardless of having a budget or not. So that little insult she just threw out there doesn't hold water, because 9 out of 10 times the things that come out of her mouth can just easily be refuted with a couple of clips from older videos of her saying something contradictory to what she's saying now. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get on with this board meeting.
You gotta have a budget in place to know what you're going to spend, how you're going to spend, and right now we're just out here. All right, call the roll. Trustee Gonzalez? Yes. Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Jones? Supervisor Henyard? Definitely not. Motion passed to table item A and B. Next on the agenda is approval of bills. Is there a motion to approve the general fund? I guess I'll second it. It's been motion and second to approve the general fund bills. Any discussion?
I would like to make an amendment.
All right.
That we pay the bills, removing the following invoices. Call Hub for $1,000.
So you guys, what we see Trustee Carmen Carlisle doing here is removing certain bills. Now this is a common thing that we would see Trustee Jason House do over there in Dolton. And the reason for them doing this is because they probably didn't get the correct information on these bills. They didn't get the information in time, or they didn't get the information in time for them to make an informed decision if they should actually agree to pay these bills or not. It is very important for them as trustees to know what they are agreeing to pay, because it's been alleged that Tiffany likes to hire her own people, her cronies, her own contractors, whoever, and then she can skim a little bit off the top, if you know what I'm saying, a little bit off the top. That's been alleged. That has been an allegation, not an allegation, okay? But it's been alleged that that's been going on. And so the trustees are a bit apprehensive about just going out and paying whatever it's brought to them by Tiffany Henyard. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and move on with this board meeting.
For $1,200, and then you go Alonzo for $3,000.
All right, is there a second? Second. All right, it's been motion and second. Any discussion? First, I would like to say I just think you guys are wrong for not paying the staff. I think the last board meeting you guys said that you agreed to pay the staff. Jerry Jones motioned it. You guys agreed, so for you to take it out of the list again, how do we pay the staff? Because some of those invoices that you just called and named are actual employees here at Thornton Township.
Question, so,
So if you guys are wondering why the audience is laughing when she's trying to get the mic to work, the technical issues surrounding the mics at this meeting is just like a running joke, because Tiffany's always works crystal clear. But whenever anyone else needs to talk, like the trustees and the residents, all of a sudden they magically have technical issues with everyone else's mic. Tiffany's is literally the only ones who's always clear, always loud. I mean, as if she's not loud enough, they're gonna guarantee that her mic works. And I just think that's just horrible, you know, and it's done on purpose. And honestly, you guys, it's not really funny, because it's a literal silencing of the people's voices. Okay, I mean, it's really sad when you think about it, because it continuously happens. All right, you guys, let's get back to this meeting.
For the record, you guys come in and meet with the clerk as related to invoices. So if you really had questions, that was your time to ask any questions and get your answers and your responses. So my advice to everybody would be to put the employees back in there that actually work here. If you want to call it, it's still here on the list, because you guys have not agreed to pay. So are you guys willing to add the staff into payment?
Actually, I would like to make one more removal of application funds for $2,000. I did include that one. So I would like to include that one as well.
Again, that's another employee. So why are we not paying employees?
So you guys, I had to pause on this. Look at her face. She looks a little worried. I think because she feels the power slowly slipping from her fingers. And you know what? It's only going to get worse in this board meeting, So they go ahead and approve this motion with the amended bills. And so next, the trustees want to pass an ordinance that will basically get rid of a lot of the programs, and I wouldn't say programs, I'm going to say a lot of the events that Tiffany Henyard does, where she gives away a lot of extravagant gifts and prizes. So let's go ahead and watch and see how that goes.
All right, next, ordinances. Is there a motion to approve an amended ordinance 24-005 to regulate event expenditures and budget approvals in Thornton Township, Cook County, Illinois? Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a motion and second? Any discussion? Nobody got no discussion? Okay, so this is an ordinance that the Board of Trustees put together. Obviously, they don't ever want to tell y'all what they're doing. This is the one where they wanted to remove certain things that we do here in Thornton Township. One thing is big bingo. I'm gonna read you the items, because when I became your supervisor, it's basically all the things that I have brought to Thornton Township that they want to include. So this is what I mean when I tell you that the board are targeting things that the supervisor does here at Thornton Township. Yet, before I got here, wasn't nothing going on. The numbers was 20% people knew about Thornton Township. When I came, now over 80% of our township knows that we exist and now is benefiting from all the services here in Thornton Township. Whether that be light, gas, water, rent, mortgage, every single thing here, we help you. We even help you bury your loved one.
So you guys, I don't know what her thing is with telling people that she will help them bury their loved ones. It's kind of morbid to me. What do you guys think? That's something that's always, every time she says it, I'm like, why are you bragging and advertising about that? Why is that something you just keep bringing up casually? It's just weird. It's just something I thought I'd mention. See if anyone else, you know, felt that way when they hear that. It's kind of creepy. All right, you guys, let's get back to it.
So I just wanted you to know all the things that we do. If y'all can keep it down so I can finish, please, thank you. This is the things that they put in this ordinance that they were like halted, and we sent something out beyond this. Just to show you how petty they are, because Trustee Carmen put this in here. They put big bingo, any holiday bingo, because bingo is bingo. Tech savvy, and that helps the residents with their phones, their iPads. They put Zoom on there, put emails on there. It's actually a really, really great class that we do here for our seniors. Township Talk. That's something we didn't have here in Thornton Township. Matter of fact, that's tomorrow. If you really want to educate yourself and learn what Thornton Township represents, all the things that we do have for you residents, and all of our surpluses, something that the fake news does not tell you. But people kind of want the information, and what I've learned is when you got something that's an educational tool, people don't show up in the masses like this. People come for the mess, but they won't come to get educated on things they should know or would like to know that's going on in their own backyard.
So you guys, I am going to fast forward through this part. She's just going to be listing all the events that go on throughout the year. And honestly, some of these shouldn't even be events. They should just be days marked on the calendar, like for acknowledgement. Like, hey, maybe you can take this day off work, or you can get an extra day out of school. The problem is she's turning everything into a full-on event. Free food, free rides, free games, free prizes. And that's where the money starts adding up. And that's the problem. And that's what the trustees are trying to get to the bottom of. But I digress. Let's go ahead and listen to Tiffany name off all the events that she feels she needs every year, every month, almost every week it seems. Let's watch.
Another thing they want to say, okay, Black History Month program. Who wants to talk Black History Month? St. Patrick's Day events, Mother's Day events, community bike rides, these all movie night, Halloween events, Thanksgiving events, Christmas events, Veterans Day events, New Year's events, Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration, that's really nice. Valentine's Day events, Women's History Day events, Sunday dinners events, karaoke night, shows how to follow, that's really nice. Classes, after school events, take the one we just did the other day, that was actually brand new picnic, comedy show, fellowship banquet, that's something, the youth summit, toy drive, that's the other thing we do is tree light is really big, we still over here outside in the front, food giveaways, again, I don't know how you got that over here, that's so my department did it, something new that we just did, cooking with Tiffany, supervisor. What else we got? Got house music fast. We got workout sessions. I'm real big on workout because we like to show it. Make sure you get your steps in every day. Please come work out with us. We do that. We have President's Day events. So these are all the great events that we do here at Thornton Township. They added in ordinance form, and that's the reason why we're trying to educate people to come to speak up for the things that you really enjoy here at Thornton.
So we've heard Tiffany's side. She wants all the events all the time using all the monies. Okay, now let's listen to Trustee Christopher Gonzalez kind of explain why they needed to create this ordinance.
Obviously, this ordinance is in no way looking to eliminate these things. However, the purpose of the ordinance, I'll just read it. The purpose of this ordinance is to regulate the budgeting and expenditure processes for events organized by Thornton Township, ensuring proper oversight, approval, and adherence to set financial limits.
So as we hear, that's what they're trying to pass this ordinance for, to set limits on spending. But you know, Tiffany, she's not trying to hear all that.
There a motion to approve an amended ordinance 24-006 to establish a retail credit card net 30 policy for Thornton Township, Cook County, Illinois. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I can read the sentence again, but I mean, just overall, we're just, look, we need to put some safeguards in place to regulate what's spent on the credit cards. Now, it was discussed last time that there may be some back and forth. We're open to that. It's imperative that we get this passed. If you want to come forward with some amendments or to make some changes, we can do that. But it's imperative we get this passed tonight.
All right. So for the record, you guys know that I'm totally against how you guys structured this. I said this at the prior meeting. That's why I did not pass. You guys did call the vote and it died because you guys are just writing things and didn't ask anybody their opinion. As it relates to laws, us as a board are supposed to discuss it, come up with a plan, and execute it. You guys have not included the body in its entirety, nor did you include the staff. They are the ones that do the spending. They are the ones that do the operation as relates to the day-to-day. I am not for how you guys drew this ordinance up. And I'm not for having a credit card. You guys wrote my name in here. So do not add my name in something that I do not agree with. So for those that don't know and ain't read this, they added my name to get a card. I do not want a credit card. I do not deal with money. I don't deal with anything that relates to check. So please do not add my name in something that I did not even agree to, trustees. So you should amend that. So please remove supervisor from this ordinance. And I think you guys should replace it, as we told you before, with a manager. I told y'all that because the managers are the ones that buy for their departments. So I don't work here every day as it relates to in no one's department. So I wouldn't know if they needed some food for a senior. All they would do is go buy what they need for their department. Once again, that's the purpose of a budget. If you have a budget, you telling them what they can spend within their department.
So you guys, what this ordinance basically is it will take away the credit cards from the different departments, and then that way it can be narrowed down to the supervisor, who is the leader. And she likes to remind people that she is the head, okay?
When I give a order, we supposed to follow them because I am the leader.
But as a leader, she doesn't want the responsibility of a credit card? That seems a little weird to me. The person who always says she ran to lead and I am your leader, you listen to me, doesn't want the responsibility of a credit card in the place that she is the supervisor of, you guys. Let's think about that for a little bit. She is a supervisor, so she should know what's going on in the township that she supervises. Right? One would think, but no, she is adamant about getting her name off of this ordinance.
But do not, please remove me from this. I'm not for that ordinance. So y'all want to make an amendment?
Motion to approve ordinance 24-006 as.
Okay, well, I'll motion to amend that, take supervisor off like I just said. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all want y'all way. I'm adding in this laws because I don't want a credit card. So I'm making a motion. That we amend this ordinance as relates to a supervisor having anything to do with credit card. Is there a second for my motion?
I have something to say based on.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me amend this first.
No, it's discussion for the first motion.
Well, I'm trumping the motion first, so I can trump the motion. Do I have a second? Okay, it's a motion and a second to trump their motion. So you got it. It's myself and Darlene. Y'all got me all the way. So now what you gotta say? Now discussion.
So you guys, she's obviously going into panic mode. She's throwing Robert's Rules of Orders, like she says, rah, 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 rah. out the window. At least that's what it looks like to me. She's saying she's just going to trump the motion that they made to pass this ordinance, and she's just going to do her own motion. And then she said that Trustee Darlene Gray Everett seconded. And I'm just going to say this. When it comes to Trustee Darlene Gray Everett voting, from the looks of it and from what we can just pick up from the camera, she doesn't really seem to be present at the meetings. Okay, she's there, but she's really not there. She's not speaking up when it comes time to vote. They always have to sit there and wait and kind of confirm if she's saying yes or no. So this gives Tiffany the opportunity to just bulldoze and say, oh, she said yes. And then there Tiffany has a second to her motion, or she has an automatic yes vote.
All right, call roll. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett? Did she say anything? Supervisor Henyard. All right, call the roll. Trustee Carlisle?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett? This is a motion to amend the previous motion to approve the budget with the following bills that Trustee Carlisle removed from the list. Yeah.
So those were just some examples of some of the earlier votes they were taking in the meeting, voting on like the general fund assistance. But as you see, when it came to Trustee Darlene Gray Everett voting, it was like she was nowhere to be found. Okay. There's no answer. There was nothing. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So let's get back to this whole credit card debacle. And let's hear Trustee Carmen Carlisle explain why it shouldn't be an issue for Tiffany to have a credit card. Let's watch.
Remove supervisor. Now go ahead.
Okay, so they did request that there be an additional card because the original ordinance did only have the finance director, Robert Hunt, listed. And according to my knowledge, I know the previous administration for 29 years only had one credit card, and they were able to successfully handle township business with that one credit card. And I know that there are a lot of things going on, a lot of spending, a lot of questions that sometimes don't get answered. But one thing I will say is I know the supervisor is bonded, so anything she does is protected under that bond. So I think that it is her responsibility to make sure she knows what's going on with the money. It's her responsibility to have a credit card again.
So one thing that really stuck out that Carmen mentioned is that Tiffany is bonded, okay? And so I did a little research, a little Google research, and this is what I found about why a person would need to be bonded. Someone might need to be bonded because experience has shown that when that certain person is entrusted with the money or property of another, there might be an instance when individuals will cause a loss through fraud or dishonesty. Okay, so therefore bonding is required to ensure that there is a union against such loss. So basically they don't trust her, okay, because of all the shenanigans she's pulled over in Dolton, I'm assuming. I don't know if this job title comes with being bonded, or is that something that's specific per individual. But that's what I found on Google. Basically that's what it means, is that this person needs to be bonded because they can't be trusted with other people's money. And I think that describes Tiffany in a nutshell, in my opinion. So let's continue to hear Tiffany plead her case on why she doesn't want a credit card, why she doesn't want this responsibility as a supervisor.
All right, so that we crystal clear. The township did have a credit card, one credit card for 29 years, and y'all had a lot of theft going on here in the township. So let's be crystal clear about that. Number two, if y'all pay attention to how anybody operation runs, every department here has a card because they are responsible for transparency. If you give one card to one person, you don't know who got it, who spent on it, what receipt at. You don't want one card. Right now, we can go and look up, hey, Carmen was in Walmart today and she bought a TV. We're not doing doing one credit card. There's no accountability for one credit card. And that's not how operations work. So everybody loses sight of the why for credit cards, the convenience for the credit card for a department. It has nothing to do with the finance director having it. It has nothing to do with nobody else meaning besides the department heads who have it to basically account for their spending for their department. So all this talk about we just gonna make this a law? No, we not. So we gonna remove supervisor. You can replace that with a manager. I don't care who you pick really for the manager. It could have been Tony Ball right here. It could be anybody. I told you this at the last meeting, and I'm verbally telling y'all again. Don't add me in nothing because I got nothing to do with the data that they as relates to their departments. They are responsible for their departments. They know what they need for their departments. So there's a motion and second on the floor to remove supervisor from this ordinance, replace it with a manager. Motion failed.
So as we can see, despite all her arguments saying you don't want one credit card, you need to be able to see what everybody's spending. Girl, they can't see what people are spending now. So what they're trying to do is narrow it down to you, because we know Tiffany allegedly is probably the one behind all of the spending of a lot of the credit cards, okay? Because we see what she did over there in Dolton as the mayor. She went on Amazon and spent over $40,000 in one day, allegedly, okay? So her motion to amend the ordinance failed, and so now they're going to move on.
All right, to let y'all know how this is gonna work. I'm not taking no credit card. I don't care what y'all vote for in here. That's sickening. That's sickening in itself. Y'all can write whatever law you want. I'm telling you what it is for a fact. And then y'all know that. Please remove me from this ordinance once again and related to credit cards.
There's still a motion and second on the floor to approve.
All right, so y'all wanna amend that? They can say no all they want. I don't listen to them. I do not listen to them. No. I do not. That is fact. I'm letting y'all know right now. I don't care what y'all write. I don't care what you write. I'm telling you, I'm not taking no cards. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. Stop. This is my life. Stop.
Yeah, you guys, stop. This is her life. And she can run this township down into the ground like she did Dolton if she wants to. You guys, I have never seen anyone so shook in their lives to take responsibility for a credit card. This has got to be the most transparent example as to why Tiffany Henyard moves the way she does. Because Tiffany will say she started this and say she has that, and she wants to take credit for everything to make herself look good because, like I said, she's always in campaign mode. And even though the charity has her name all over it and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, her name was not on the paperwork, but it was actually Keith Freeman's name, who used to be Dolton's village administrator. It was his name on the paperwork and not hers. So she does this because she can use what they call in the legal field plausible deniability. And what that is the ability to deny knowledge of or responsibility for actions taken by others, often in a formal or informal chain of command. And it can occur when there is a lack of evidence or information that can confirm someone's participation. And Tiffany gave us a great example of what it is when she went on Roland Martin and denied the charity.
So you have a charity that Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation?
I don't have a foundation. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany T-shirt, people gonna buy it. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not, and that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So this is why she's very adamant about not having her name on anything, but she likes to plaster it everywhere, on billboards, posters, calendars, you name it. But no, God forbid they try to put it on a credit card. No, she doesn't want that. All right, you guys, let's continue because it's time for them to vote on the ordinance, but Tiffany is kind of pulling like a filibuster, and she's going to try to get some of the trustees to amend the ordinance or not pass it. Let's watch.
Jerry and Chris, please take me off of this ordinance. Are you guys gonna take me off this ordinance? it's stuck in y'all way, if I'm telling y'all I don't want something, you just going to vote me that I got to get a text card. Trustee Jerry, you just going to vote for why? What's your why? But that's what I'm talking about. Y'all didn't up here voting blindly or giving them a vote, you don't got a why? So why would you have me in the ordinance, trustee? Why would you put me in this?
Motion to call the votes.
I'm telling you. So why? So what's the why? What's the why, trustee Jerry? Trustee Jerry, why? Oh no, it's discussion. And you don't want to be here. That's fine. We're having a discussion. Why would you vote on something someone's saying they do not want? Make that make sense to me. Huh? I would like to know the answer, trustee. Because I don't think that's fair to me. I don't think you guys are being understanding for this. I just don't. And I think you should do better. So, Carmen, why do you have my name on this ordinance? Chris, why is my name on this ordinance? Why?
It's called leadership.
Leadership, that's let me explain something to you. This is how I know that you guys don't know how to run a business and don't know nothing about leadership. I'm not going to go to no store for nobody. So make it make sense. This is a joke. All right, call the roll and just for the record for the 18th time, I don't want anything to do with a credit card. I already told people that, so thank you. All right, go ahead. Trustee Carlisle. Trustee Jones. Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett. Supervisor Henyard. Definitely not. Motion passed. So next on the agenda, is there a motion?
So, as we could see, she was very adamant, very desperate about trying to get them to change their minds and take her off this credit card. Again, like I said, you guys, I've never seen someone so eager to be in leadership positions and brag about it all the time, but then at the same time doesn't want to take on the responsibilities of what it takes to be a real leader. And I think we can all agree by now that she certainly doesn't act or talk like a leader, okay? But you guys, this video has gone on long enough, but let me know down in the comments what you feel about the trustees making Tiffany Henyard have a credit card. Okay, let me know what your thoughts are on that. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like, and if you're new here, subscribe.
And I always try to encourage residents, if it's something that you want us to add or change, let us know, because we are open always to your opinion and your suggestions. This is my life. Stop. And so now what you got to say? Now discussion.
When I give a order, we supposed to follow them because I am the leader.
They can say all they want. I don't listen to them. I do not listen to them.